evening, everyone. Yeah, welcome to the EnVision e-talk tonight, which is organized by the Nanyang Technological University Nanyang Technopreneurship Center. I suggest that everybody mute your mic. Please do not unmute during the talk. After talk, we will have a Q&A session. So please feel free to unmute your mic or just leave your questions in the chat room. Today, the topic is the impact of COVID-19 on the banking and our future lives through AI. Okay, so we welcome this Mr. Charles Wang, who is the CTO of International Product at Full Paradigm. He has 18 years of experience in software development, 12 years in commercial AI, and 11 years in team management. He has great sense in innovation AI product strategies and abundant know-how in increasing profit for enterprise customers with intelligent business transformation. Mr. Charles will give us a talk in the upcoming 40 minutes. So let's welcome Charles.
Professor Fu, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, great. Hi, everyone. My name is Charles, and I feel really honored to have the opportunity to stay here and stay with you to talk about the new technology, how we can transform the business. Would you mind I just share the screen? Can you see the screen now? My presentation.
Yes.
Okay, great. Before that, I wanna say something about myself. So I worked and lived in Singapore for about 2 years, a long time ago, and I really love the country. And there are a lot of nice people, a lot of nice smiles, and clean street, and everything is perfect. And also for the economic, it's really dynamic. So I can see quite a lot of beautiful things within the country. But at the moment, I feel the virus, and I've just read from the latest news saying there are 690 new confirmed cases in Singapore. That was really terrifying, and I feel really sorry about that. So today's topic is something about the COVID-19. Let's see how we can solve problems during the coronavirus, both for business and for the virus itself. All right, let's have a start. So 2020. It's a new year, and a lot of retail banking industry researchers has done quite a lot of surveys and the researches talking about the challenges and the new investments. And there are very common topics, like the new challenges they agreed on are how to attract new customers, and the investment they have agreed on are how to enhance customer service. Why is that? Because all of us working in this industry has already seen what is challenging and what is the threat. Let's look at the bottom left corner. Here are what they are thinking. So for this traditional banking industry, we're thinking about what is the competition in non-traditional players. So that chart has already given the answer. More than 50% of different areas we have already found the threats is more likely to be than opportunities. And that's the challenge that we're facing. That's the baseline of 2020. But after coronavirus has come, it's becoming even worse. Why? Let's look at the traditional offline banking model. There are some bank offices, bank branches, the clients are visiting the offices, and we talk to the tellers, to the wealth management planners and the customer managers. We talk to them to do business and to do transactions. That's okay, right? But it's not working during coronavirus outbreak because most of the bank branches are closed. Even if they are not closed, fewer people on the street, fewer people visiting the branches, the business is having quite a lot of negative impact. And we will forecast there could be a huge plunge in the business in such kind of industries. For the extreme cases, like for cinemas, they have a lot of offline stores, and they are suffering from nearly 100% of the drop in the business income. Some of them are recording zero income in the past few months in China. And banking is a little bit better. Some of the banks in China, they're recording about 30 or 50% of drop in the past few months. And I'm predicting this could happen in Singapore. Because people are not there. That's simple. So for the new era, with coronavirus, everything should stay online. People are kept from home. They're just staying home, social distancing. They're not doing anything on the street, but instead, they're still surfing online, browsing websites, and using mobile apps, and the life is still normal online. That's why we say we should focus on online services during the coronavirus. And even after that, when the coronavirus has disappeared miraculously, then we should still focus online because people's habit will not change. Once they are happy with the online services, they have already got the habit, then it's very hard to pull them back to visit the offline stores. So the retail banking is suffering from a huge change. We could take it as an opportunity, and we recommend that we focus online. So if we want to look for opportunities online, what should we do? So we talk about less people in the stores, on the street, then how about online? If for these banks, when they're looking for customers online, they will see nobody. So where is everybody? we can see a lot of people visiting Facebook and purchasing or shopping on Amazon. You know, they're doing a lot of activities, but not with the banks. They still can't see customers online. Then how can we solve this problem? China Merchant Bank has already given us a good example. So they are in the middle of mobile transformation, and I have to say they have done a great job. They have utilized the online ecosystem so that they achieve better user retention rate. So at the moment, they have got more than 13 million active users with credit cards, and we can see the user retention rate increases 40%. What they have done is about changing the traditional business model into the online business model. If we want to achieve the same result, you know, with the banks, we have to change our mindset first. Like in traditional ways, people apply for credit cards in the branches. After they have got the credit card, they put it in the wallet, walk on the street, sometimes pop into some stores, do some shopping or buying food, and then they swipe the cards physically. And that's how the business is doing and how we connect to the customer. Because everything is done physically, that means we highly rely on limited offline branches, limited access point. So everything is limited because it's physical. But with online apps, that's totally different. That's what we call app mindset. The business model has already upgraded to unlimited connections to the customers and via these digital platforms. So in this case, people just open their application within the mobile and then do the surfing and browsing, click on some advertisement and purchase things. Whenever they're doing the purchase, do they use physical credit card? Absolutely no. What we need to do is to analyze the user's profile to decide whether this purchase is valid, whether we should allow some credit for this potential user. And if everything is done, the final deal is just completed in 2 minutes. So that's the whole new business model. And my question is, if we really want to do some online business model, we need to solve the card problems. Why do we need the cards? Everything should be done digitally. We have already seen this happening in China. This is an example of this one. So where do people manage their cash? In 2017, we can see the banks are holding 40% of the share. And Alibaba and Tencent, these high-tech companies, are holding 47.3%, which is much higher than banks. And in 2018, it's even worse. These high-tech companies are having more than 50%, and the bank's share is dropping to 33.1%. And then let's look at how they buy things. Where do people buy financial products like the home insurance, car insurance, and wealth management planning, these kind of financial products? Where do they buy? We can also see these high-tech companies have already surpassed the traditional banks. That is already happening. A lot of people will say, okay, this is a battle between the traditional banks and the high-tech companies, and let's see who will win. Actually, there is already the answer. From the trend, we can already predict that the winner is already there. And now it's even new era. It's not the battle between the banks and the new high technology. It's the battle among these high technology companies. Let's see the next generation company like ByteDance. If you don't know this company, that's all right. But I'm pretty sure you have used the application of TikTok, Musical.ly. I'm pretty sure a lot of young people have already used these apps, and that they are owned by ByteDance. That is a new generation company. It's eating the market share from Alipay and WeChat. They're beating each other. And why ByteDance is achieving quite a big success in this case? Because it's using the ecosystem to take the market share. They're serving the customers, the potential mobile users in the proper way, so that these users stay with these apps, spend a lot of time, get great user experience, and that's why they have a great success in the market share. Then what do we need to do? So we would recommend we change our mindset. Like in traditional ways, banks should think about AUM, how much assets you are managing, and how can we make more profit? How can we expand more stores, open more branches? So that's the traditional way. But now everything has changed. We need to move from AUM to MAU, monthly active users. So we need to increase the users' activity to attract more users online on the mobile so that we can engage these customers. And then finally, we will increase the assets. That is our final goal. Yes, that's true. But the point is, how can we achieve that goal? There is a long path. And today I will talk about this new business model, and I will talk about the path. There are actually 3 steps. The first step is to attract more customers. Because the customers are online, you can't make advertisements in the stores or in branches. It doesn't help. We need to attract more customers from the mobile apps or with the other online activities. And after we have got these customers, we need to think about how we can engage them, to encourage them to spend more time with the apps, to build the trust with the banks so that we can move on to the next step, which is to convert these customers into paying customers. So that's step 1 after 1. You can't just skip the steps and just go straight to the final goal, that is to increase the profit. So there is some path we have to follow. To achieve that goal, there's something we need to consider. For example, we need to think about the full coverage. Compared with traditional ways of serving the customers, we need to provide much more content to the customers to make sure they trust us and they're happy with us. And the second is how we can do things, recommend things more precisely so that we can save time to get better customer experience. And the third way is to make things faster. How can we monetize in a faster way? How can we be faster than our competitors? That's the third topic. Let's talk about one by one. For the coverage, let's do some comparison. Imagine we are in the bank office, in the branch. We visit the store, we talk to the teller, we do transaction, then we leave, right? I never see any person just playing ping pong or playing tennis in the bank branches. It's not funny because the security guards, they will reject that. But in online apps, that's totally different. Sure, we can also serve the financial information like salary information, financial management, or doing some searches about financial products. That's okay. But at the same time, we want to serve much more than that. We want to engage the whole person's life with our online app. Because with online app, there is no restriction. You can play tennis, you can just search for restaurants, you can do some recommendation with traveling, you can meet with friends, with families, and everything that you wanna do, you can do it with the mobile apps. There is no security problem. And we want to engage the whole person's life so that we can have more information with these people, and we can have more time from them. All of these adding up together, we will have the best user experience. And further on that, what do? We want to just push as much information as we can to these potential clients. That's true, right? But at the same time, we don't want to inundate these people with overloaded information because that will also harm our user experience. They will be annoyed, they will be irritated. So there is some subtle balance between the two goals. What should we do? Actually, there is an answer. So AI algorithms, they can help in this case. We recommend the correct information, the proper information at the right time. That should be filtered by AI algorithms so that we can push the right information, right amount of information to the potential customer. Just the right amount. Then we can achieve the goal of sending diversified contents to precisely match individual needs. So that's how we have the full coverage without having too much information. And the next topic is about precision. So how can we push things in a more precise way? The basic rule is to recommend the right product to the right people at the right time. As a general example, let's say for travelers, we definitely want the algorithm to recommend the traveling related information, like the cheap air tickets or coupons to these people. And for foodies, definitely for restaurants, new restaurants, some food critics, these stuff are really the piece of information that they are interested in. And for healthy lifestyle, definitely we want to recommend healthy food to these people. But how can we do that? That should be taken care of by the machines. That should be done with AI algorithms, because that can't be done by persons. You know, with human beings, we can't process as much information as that, because we have millions of different users online, and you know, you can't just make one rule for each person, but the machines can. That's why we say this is machine's job. Just leave it to the machines. And the second part for the precise topic is different models. So when people are using mobile apps, there are two different modes: active using mode and passive using mode. The active means when people are using the app, they have already opened the app, they have something in their mind, they're thinking about, okay, I want to do something with that, I want to search for something, I want to locate a store, I want to locate a restaurant, and the recommendation, they have already got the goal. Then in this case, we can identify the person's need and person's goal. Then by collecting these stuff together with the client's profile, we will have the result of precision recommendation. So we can filter the results precisely. We can filter out from like millions of different pieces of information, and as the final result, we only pick up 20. And for the passive mode, like the people are relaxing on the beach, enjoying the sunlight, or they're off duty, they're on their way home, they're not using the apps. But because the algorithm can detect whether this is the right time to push something, then we can also make some push notification to tell the user, is this piece of news what you're interested in? Or is this product exactly what you want at the right moment? So we can also do the same thing. If they're interested, they will open the app, finish the rest steps of the cycle. They can also make the purchase. So the two modes will both increase the user retention. And the third part is that it is a synergy of different models. You know, when we're doing the models, we not only just do one scenario, we do quite a lot of them, like dozens or even hundreds. And the data or the profile we collect from one scenario, that could be used in the second scenario. These data will be shared among these scenarios, the profile, the user's preference, transaction info, behavior info. These will be shared between the scenarios so that for the second and the following ones, they could share this information to get more precise recommendation. So the more scenarios you do, the more precise the recommendation will be. And the third topic is how we can do things faster. One topic is how we can make profit in a faster way. Like there are many banks doing the same thing, right? We have the same contents, we have the same cost, probably the same user experience, or we are even recommending the same products. Then why we can make more profit? The point is we have to use the AI algorithms to optimize. So we tell the AI algorithms, this is the goal. The goal is to optimize the monetization. For the first step, we will try to attract more users. So that goal is to optimize how we can attract these users to make them kill more time on these apps. How can we build the trust between the banks and the users? But the third step is to make profit. We can also tell the AI algorithms to convert the users into paying customers in a faster way. So let's also leave this topic to the machines, not to the people. And the second part of the speed is This is a concrete scenario. A person, actually a mobile user, he's off duty and he's hungry now at 7 p.m. Well, actually, that is ridiculous in China because 7 p.m. nobody is off duty. You know, we are off duty 11 o'clock. But it's true in Singapore, I believe. So 7 p.m. he's really hungry, and he's looking for food. Right at that time, if AI knows that, we should recommend our product immediately, like KFC coupons or whatever. So we just meet their needs in the first second so that we can beat our competitors. Because we will receive quite a lot of advertisements every day. And whatever pops up the first will stay on top of the queue, and very likely the user will pick up that. And the other competitors, they're just hidden in the long queue and they will not gain the deal. So speed is really important. How can we solve that problem? It's so easy. We already achieved that. We make our scenarios real time. So within real time, we can respond to the user's request and we can recommend at the right time. Thus, we can gain a lot of advantage over our competitors. The final part of the speed is the frequency. You know, people using the apps have quite a lot of different activities, but activities are totally different. Some of the activities like housekeeping, clothes, shopping, or dining, or entertainment, that could be done in a few minutes. That could happen in a few times in a day. That's daily activity, or even hourly activity. In contrast, the other activities like financial planning, this stuff, maybe that is happening once a year. Like how often do you buy car insurance? How often do you apply for home loans? If you're not billionaire, I'm pretty sure you're not doing it every day, right? So they are totally different. Then why do we need to identify these activities? Because we need to merge them together and to shuffle them in a subtle way so that they can benefit each other. Let's make an offline example. Let's say if you want to make a deal with some big customer and we have a salesman, what does he do? Definitely he want to contact this potential customer and to talk to him day after day to build the mutual trust and to serve him even with some complimentary services day after day or maybe every month so that they have mutual trust. And whenever the potential customer is trying to make some critical decision, then the salesman will pop up. And he will be the first in his mind. He will think about this person first, and he will be the best chance to pick up the deal, right? If we don't do that way, we engage with the customer on the first day and we say, okay, I will leave you alone. And for the rest of the year, we don't talk to him. And at the end of the year, when the big customer is trying to make some purchase, and then we knock at the door saying, okay, still remember me? I'm Charles Wang. Remember me? You want to make the deal? Sign my contract. Sign my contract. It's not possible. They will definitely say no. So that's how our online apps is working. We need to engage the customer every day so that they like us, they like our apps, that they have got the habit using our app. Then we can influence them when they're making critical financial decisions. Even further, we may get some inception. That is to embed the financial product information into our daily contents so that we can influence our potential users day after day. And very naturally, probably they will make the decision to pick up our financial product at the right time. Then this is a very smooth way. And with the help of this, we can have quite a lot of advantage over our competitors. All right, so that is how we want to make the new business model. We want to transform the business model so that it can work properly online. And even further, as I mentioned, we need to do multiple scenarios instead of one so that we can gain synergy benefits. And how we can do that, we recommend using the whole platform. You know, we have the recommendation middleware, we have the push middleware, the search middleware, all of these adding together, we have the whole platform serving hundreds of different scenarios. And if the bank is doing that, I'm pretty sure your online services will get to the next stage. Right, that's all for the solution for the business model transformation during the coronavirus outbreak. And if you want to know a little bit more about the company, I will give you a very brief introduction. So fourth paradigm is international leader in enterprise-grade AI applications. We have 800 employees and 500 of them are AI R&D specialists, and 60% of them are PhD or master holders. And we are specialized in automated ML, machine learning, and our flagship product is Sage AI platform. And we're also good at enterprise-grade software because when our company is born, we were doing the 2B business. We have several distributed offices and headquarters in Beijing, and the Southeast Asia headquarters in Singapore, and the European headquarters is in Amsterdam. Let's meet our top AI scientists. Mr. Daiwen Yuan, our CDO and founder, is the champion of 2005 ACM. And he is also the principal scientist at a renowned No.2 Art Lab. And he is also the principal architect of Baidu's Phoenix Nest revolutionary machine learning system. And he was also recognized as 40 and 40 by Fortune China. Mr. Chen Yuqiang, our co-founder, is the chief research scientist, and he was the CTO of ByteDance, and he was the first person to develop the largest deep learning system in the world. Mr. Hu Sui, our co-founder, and he is the chief architect. Mr. Tu Weiwei, principal architect, and Mr. Jing Zhao, our VP, and he was working in Pinterest and Google before, and he was also the champion of ACM in 2010. Here's the timeline of our company. We were founded in 2014, and we became the unicorn in 2018. And at the moment, we are recognized by Gartner as the top 5 profile in competitive landscape AI startups in China. We also have a lot of famous investors. So we were invested by Sequoia and Sinovation Ventures, Genesis Capital, and Cisco and Lenovo. We were also invested by the top 5 banks in China, because when we were doing project with them, they were really impressed and they were really happy to invest into our business. And not only about the business, but we also care about people. So during the coronavirus, we realized that our technology definitely can help in solving the coronavirus problem. And that's why we just pop up in the first day, like in January, we set up a team to beat the coronavirus problem. With technology, with AI algorithms, we will see how we can control the virus in a precise way. Like we can have in-time warnings, we can have quick identification, and we can also simulate how the virus will develop with different options of regulation. So with the help of these products, we work with medical centers and the government. We can see that the whole coronavirus situation was really in control in February, and in a couple of months was really stabilized. So here's some details. On screen, we can see the dashboard. So that is the tracking and forecasting system that we have done for the government. So on the left-hand side, we will see different options. What kind of regulation do you want to do, and these combinations, if you choose them and set the parameters and then push the button on the bottom left corner, the machine will calculate how the virus will develop. And on the right-hand side, we'll see the curve, like how many confirmed cases it could be in that case, and how many infected person, the death rolls, and even for the work resumption comparison. So we can simulate with some of the options whether the coronavirus will be better or maybe even worse. We can see that the curve maybe it could be flattened, or we will see spikes with different options. And for economic side, we can also compare what kind of options is best for the work resumption. If more people are coming back to the office, is it getting the whole system worse, or that will benefit the economy? So that was pretty helpful for the medical system. And compared with the traditional medical models, we are achieving great results. For example, the traditional model we achieve, well, the old model was achieving about 3% of the accuracy. And with the help of AI, we can achieve about 93% of accuracy. That saved a lot of energy, saved a lot of resources in medical system, and that also saved the lives. But let's come back to the business. We are not good at managing the coronavirus. We're also good at finance industry and the media and energy, governance, healthcare, and retail. So the majority of our customers are in the financial industry, like the top banks in China. They are all our customers. We also have the top securities companies like the CNS and the PICC and CPIC. They are the top insurance companies in China. For the media, we have People's Daily and the Xinhua News and CCTV.com. They are the biggest media companies in China. And for energy, we have the State Grid and the PetroChina, Sinopec, really the top tier customers. And for retailing, we have Yum China, which have the brand of KFC, Pizza Hut, and this stuff, and the Yonghui supermarket. And by the way, in 2019, we were recognized by IDC as #1 in AI platform market share in China. So that's all for today's presentation. I hope I've got some helpful information for you about the coronavirus and how to do business online with the retail banking. Any questions?
Okay, I have a question here. I think now AI is a very hot topic. What do you think about the talent supply at your side? Because when you are realizing so many big projects, I think the talent and the engineers is a big issue for your side, right?
Yes. Well, to answer, for the real talented people, they can do amazing results with the AI projects. But because we are doing AI for hundreds of different customers, we definitely want to replicate the projects in a cheaper way. So we do the product in a platform way. We call ourselves PaaS provider. We sell our Sage AI platform so it can be deployed and used in different scenarios, even in different industries. That is automatically calculating with algorithms, and that will help us lower down the cost for each of the projects. Does it answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Here is a question from Annie. I know how to apply the AI technology to the traditional retail company. Oh, sure. So we have so many different scenarios. It's like online banking or retail banking. We also have quite a lot of scenarios for the retail company. Let's go back. I hope that could be easier. So that could be reused. For example, for KFC, we're doing projects with KFC, and for each of the deal, AI can recommend the proper stuff, proper food, before the user has made the order. So before the order is finalized, we will ask the user, do you want something more? Do you want to add one more burger or some chips or a larger Coke? You want to upgrade? So for that deal, we have achieved great results, like 5% of the increase in the total income for each of the order. So we can expand like hundreds of such kind of scenarios for retail companies. I hope that will answer Annie's question. And from CC, how could AI help with medical system? Oh, that is a very good question. So for the coronavirus, as we have mentioned, we have like the simulation system, the tracking forecasting system. We also have the real-time control, like in-time warnings and quick identification. And we also have other projects. Hold on. Sorry. AI plus healthcare. We work with Ruijin Hospital in China, which is one of the best hospitals in China. And we have quite a lot of machines. And if you don't mind, sorry. We also have the all-in-one machines right there. You know, that's the all-in-one machines. I hope you can see that. So that is the all-in-one machine for the healthcare and the medical center. So with that one, it will monitor the patient's situation, make some recommendation on their food and their lifestyle, and measure their blood pressure. And then with all of these collection, we can calculate the recommendation in a smarter way. Okay, so for WK10, since different countries have different regulation for AI, what kind of challenges are faced by your company expanding to overseas market? For that one, we have already got answer. For example, we are expanding in Europe, and they have really strict rules. For example, they need the GDPR, and luckily, we spent about 6 months and finally got through the GDPR regulation. That is really strict. You know, all of the data need to be protected and need to be supervised, and all of the potential risks, especially in security and privacy, that need to be monitored and examined. So we have done quite a lot of thorough examination, and we have already got the result. And further on that, you know, most of the decision-making AI, that needs to be explainable. So in contrast with the traditional black box AI, what we do is to make it more explainable. We make it white box. We use the terminology of like twice learning to build different models. So the final model we serve online, that is totally explainable. It could be mapped into the concrete rules that could be read by human beings. And any auto decision-making result is definitely explainable and can be explained in a straight way, so that it can be taken to the court to explain why this decision is ethical, why this decision is fair and equal. All right, to the next question. How would AI further challenge and change the healthcare industry after COVID-19? I wouldn't say too much because at the moment I can't see the clear trend, but at least I would say in the current challenge, we have already seen the traditional way of managing the virus is out of date. You know, we have quite a lot of rules. Even nowadays, we have a lot of rules like social distancing. Nobody should be on the street. Nobody should be back to the office. You know, these are rules. Rules are really rigid. If you say you can't smoke, everybody can't do the same thing, right? That is one rule fitting all. But with AI, I can predict that we should have one rule for each single individual. Because AI can generate billions of rules, one for each person. That will save a lot of resources in the healthcare, in the medical resources, and I'm pretty sure that will be the trend in the following years. But you know, for the healthcare system, the whole system, I can't make some judgment. That's not my expertise. Okay, for the next one, I know is recurrent AI mainly used for marketing purpose for banking sector. How about the credit risk assessment and management? And there will be a lot of uncertainty in this pandemic period. Okay, that was just one example, right? I said about the marketing or promotion, but actually AI can help in the whole life cycle of the business in banks. Let's take credit card as an example, or loan. For attracting new customers, we have a bunch of different AI scenarios to help people be attracted in a more efficient way. And when they are making the application, AI can help in KYC period. And when we are evaluating the customer, definitely we can collect enough information to evaluate how risky this application could be. And on the next step, during the transactions for credit card transaction period, we can have the anti-fraud transaction monitoring, and for back transactions, we can do AML. And for low applications, we can manage the risks of having loan default or loan overdue. And even when we're closing the loan, we can also help in debt collection. So AI scenarios could get across the whole life cycle of the business in the banking industry. And we have done hundreds. I hope that has already answered your question. And especially for the current pandemic period, because everything should be done online. I can give you a very concrete example, like Huaxia company, Huaxia Bank. That was like mid-sized bank in China. When they are doing deals during coronavirus, they suffer quite a lot of drop in their offline business. And everybody's applying loans or credit cards online, and they even have a lot of challenges in their IT system, because too many people are visiting their websites and using mobile apps, and they can't afford it. But after they have solved this problem, the next challenge is how they can finish the application in a few days or maybe in a few minutes. That's a huge challenge because nobody can do that. For traditional business in banks, we send these files, quite a lot of documents to the right team, and they work on it for a few days. They work day and night, and they can't complete it. But with the help of the application risks management and a bunch of other like anti-fraud application scenario, we have already made them processing it in a smarter way and in a faster way. Like these loans can be approved like in a few hours. So that's the concrete example for that. All right, the next one. So you mentioned about the successful AI use cases and give us several combinations. Which combination do you think is the most successful? For example, AI plus finance? Yes, definitely. Because for AI plus finance, because the banks and the securities in the industries, they have already good quality data. I wouldn't say perfect, because we still need to do some data governance to better the quality of the data in the banks. But the point is, it's already better than other industry. So with the combination, definitely we want to say the financial industry is one of the most mature, and the internet industry, that is one of the most mature. And for the others, probably several. But the other reason is because fourth paradigm was was starting from the banking industry. That's why we have quite a lot of successful cases in this area. And the next one, how would AI explore active and passive users? Oh, that's a very good question. That's different scenarios. For example, we have to do some scenarios for the active mode and the other scenarios for passive mode. So for the passive, it's sort of the promotion mode. People are not using the app. We don't know what the user is doing at the moment. Maybe even in the past few hours, probably they are not active. But we have to prepare these user profiles so that AI can learn about it and then prepare the potential products we want to recommend. And AI will filter out which parts are good for this particular user at the right time. And with, whenever we have recommended something to the target user, they will either click on it or not, right? If they're not interested, they will say, okay, just forget it. Or they're interested, they will just click on it and they spend some time with the contents we push to them. And that is the important feedback. So this feedback, no matter it's negative or positive, this will be learned by the AI algorithms. And these feedback will be accumulated. That's why the AI algorithm can be smarter and smarter. Then it will recommend in a more precise way. I hope that helps. Sorry, there are too many. I will just pick up some. In your opinion, who will lead the world in AI? China or US or Europe? I can't give you a very clear answer, but at the moment, let's see the figures. For example, for the investment in AI, China market has already overpassed US, but it's still, it's still not that mature. So US is definitely the leader at the moment, but we don't know what will happen in China. But in terms of the accelerating speed, I'm pretty sure China is definitely the winner. And Europe, it's just a follow-up. I'm pretty sure Europe will just catch up, and they are really investing quite a lot. Like with the strategy of 2020, with the the Industrial 4.0, I'm pretty sure they are investing quite a lot to make sure they are still holding some position in the AI revolution. And some of them are, what is after AI? If anybody is interested the world about the post-AI world, I'm very happy to do other sessions. That is a huge topic, but I'm pretty sure AI is just the fourth industrial revolution. After that, we will have the fifth, the sixth, and maybe even more, right? And it's still accelerating. So it's very funny. It will be really amazing. The world will become more beautiful. But today we have limited time, so I will not give you a very precise answer. That's a really open topic. Do you plan to have an AI to predict companies' financial health status? So recommendations and assistance can be provided to companies which are in financial hardship. Yes, definitely. We have done one project with some just like the mass organization in China. They monitor the status of different companies. They want to predict which company will thrive, which company might die in a couple of years. So we have such a kind of model, and I'm pretty sure if anybody is interested, we can do the same thing for them. And some of them, how much can the model for AI for commercial be applied to AI in education? Oh, that's a very good question. So commercial, is an easy area because they have a lot of money, and that's why we want to spend a lot of energy in this. And that's why it's more mature than the others. Education, we have already done some. Fourth Paradigm has already got a department in education, and we have designed a lot of all-in-one products for the education purpose, like for the, for universities. And we also have our training platform, the Paradigm University. We have a lot of online courses, and we have already built up the community for the education in AI. We have the whole methodology, right? So we can talk about more if you're interested. And the next one, for service-oriented companies, how AI can be applied to attract customers. Oh, sorry, I don't think I've got the point. What do you mean? What do you mean to attract customers? Attract customers to buy more services, or to buy high quality services, or what else? Is that okay that you put more details about this? And let me see whether I have missed any of the questions.
Oh, I think here is a question is for Paradigm's approach to AI in education different from AI Squirrel. Squirrel, of course, is last year is a very famous China company for the AI education.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your side, your company is more focused on the fintech side, I think.
Well, fintech is is our own channel because we have done it for a few years, at least 5 years. But for education, we have already explored it before 2019. So we have quite a bunch of products serving the education purpose. But I'm not sure whether we have some overlap with AI Squirrel. So if anybody is interested, we are very happy to have another session in AI in education because we have quite something to share with the community, especially with the universities or training purpose. We have a whole, how can I say, we have the whole community to do such things. And one more question. So in your opinion, when will we see the mass proliferation of AI in every sector? I have to say it's already happening. So for example, fourth paradigm has already gained really fast speed in expansion in the past few years. And we can predict in a couple of years, most of the AI will be AI based. And whether we like or not, traditional apps will be turned into AI apps. Because without AI, you just do the regular profit, like 10% or 15% at most. With the help of AI, it will increase your profit, sometimes by 20%. And sometimes we have some real example. The profit increase is 2,300%. So there are huge difference. So I'm pretty sure in a few years, most of the apps will be supported by AI.
Okay, that's a very, very attracting future. Okay, I believe.
Can I be used for B2B?
Yeah.
Can you make it, so any of us, could you please make it a little more precise? In what kind of scenarios in B2B are you mentioning? Because fourth paradigm, I'm pretty sure we are doing B2B, so I know more details. Is there any scenario with intelligent manufacturing companies? Yes, manufacturing is not one of the most mature level in AI, but definitely is some area that worth exploring, and we're doing that. For example, for the pipeline, for the whole manufacturing pipeline, we need to guarantee that there is no failure in the whole system, because once the pipeline is stopped, it's a huge disaster to the factory. So we can do quite a lot of scenarios to predict the maintenance, the necessity of the maintenance, to predict whether something is going to die, whether some parts is going to die, whether some parts need to be replaced. So that's one part. And another example is like with the production, with the manufacturing, we have quite a lot of products, like you're manufacturing some chips. These CPUs, we want to make sure there is no problem with that. Or you're doing the LED, you want to make sure there is no spot in the LED. So these are generally done with some traditional way of detection plus the human being checking, and that could be replaced by AI, so we can have better quality. Because AI seldom make mistakes. How AI help in acquiring to new customers for B2B, example, IT services, software services? Oh, that's an interesting question. We are exploring that. Today we're talking about the retailing retail banking, not the commercial banking. I'm pretty sure commercial banking is one of the example, or you're doing like B2B services, just like full paradigm itself is a B2B service. So that is also traffic, right? As we mentioned, we have traffic. Bear with me, please. Here we go. So on the left part, we see public traffic and private traffic. So in B2B scenario, most likely they are not in the public traffic, they are private traffic. You know, with the sales, they engage with the customers directly. They have contact in person and they build personal trust. That's one way of managing our private traffic. And as long as it's traffic, I'm pretty sure AI can help optimizing the way you do business. And we also have a business product helping this. You know, we have traditional CRM system, and now Full Paradigm has another product called CESS that will help us to do business, to do the marketing in the proper way with the help of AI. I want to, Professor Fu, if we still have time, I want to expand a little bit on that. But if time is too limited, I will just stop and finish in questions.
Okay, any more questions? Only one more question.
Just the last one, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Are there any examples or case studies whereby AI has been used in logistics, like freight forwarding? Oh yeah, definitely. So I have to say, like the coronavirus scenario, that is one of the things that is similar to the logistics. You know, like route planning, these stuff are not easily to be managed. So they are very similar scenarios, and we have done some scenarios for logistics companies to do the route planning, and even for ATM, you know, ATM feeding scenarios. We can also plan when is the right time to feed the ATM machines, or when is the right time to collect money in a safer way. So I hope that helps. And do you have reference guide for utilizing AI for B2B services? Yeah, sure, definitely. We have a bunch of materials and, you know, lead stuff. We are very happy to send to Professor Fu offline so that she can forward to you.
Okay, thanks, Charles, for your generous sharing. And then we know more, we know much more about AI industry and then how it can affect our future life. Okay, now we also thanks everyone for your attendance to this event, to this e-talk. Although this is the second session, we got very positive feedback from the public. So we will provide more talks for you guys. So tomorrow will be the May the 1st, the Labor Day. So wish all of you a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you later.
See you later. See you next time.